There's a 5-second window for all of us. There's a 5-second window between the moment that your inner wisdom, your instincts, your second brain, your gut, whatever you want to call it, all of that unique power that's in you, that comes from your DNA, that comes from your life experiences, that comes from everything that you've learned in your life, situational intelligence, all of that, when it speaks to you and tells you to move, to speak, to take some form of action, you only got 5 seconds to move before your mind will talk you out of it.
We all bought into this lie that you gotta feel ready in order to change.
Yeah.
We bought into this complete falsehood that at some point you're gonna have the courage, at some point you're gonna have the confidence, and it's total bullshit, frankly.
The little things make all the difference, and I could spend hours with you explaining the science of confidence and explaining the science of risk and explaining the science behind courage and explaining habit loops and how they get encoded in your brain. You don't need to know any of that because you're not applying for a PhD in psychology. I have done the work, and what I know is that true change comes down to 5-second windows.
Garbage. And so there are so many people in the world, and you may be watching this right now, and you have these incredible ideas, and what you think is missing is motivation. And that's not true. Because the way that our minds are wired, and the fact about human beings, is that we are not designed to do things that are uncomfortable or scary or difficult. Our brains are designed to protect us from those things because our brains are trying to keep us alive. And in order to change, in order to build a business, in order to be the best parent, the best spouse, to do all those things that you know you want to do with your life, with your work, with your dreams, you're going to have to do things that are difficult.
And so all you need to know to change anything is A, you're never going to feel like it. You're never going to feel ready to start that business. You're never going to feel ready to have that hard conversation. You're never going to feel like getting out of bed. You're never going to feel like it's a good idea to apply for that promotion. We're designed to stay comfortable and safe. So if you know that you're A, never going to feel like it, and B, that no one's coming, it's up to you. You're not a kid anymore.
So it's not selfish to put yourself first.
No, it's self-full.
It's self-full.
It's self-full to be fun. But you want to come with your cup full. My cup runneth over.
Yeah.
What comes out of the cup is for y'all. What's in the cup is mine. You don't have clear boundaries.
When we think we are unworthy, it means that for some reason we believe that we have to prove we have a right to our space on the planet, in life, as we are, being who we are. And that means that we will do all manner of wonderfulness.
Here's a big story I wish everybody, I'm just a single mom and I can't. That story is not helping you. That may be a reality. Here's the principle. State the facts, speak the truth. Most of us have a death urge. And we see the guy coming, warning, slap, right in the middle of his head. And we said, oh, I'ma fix it. I'ma change it. I'ma reshape it. And we gotta understand, love doesn't have to fix you, change you. When you see crazy coming, cross the street.
True, bona fide, authentic happiness is about unleashing your God-given talents to positively influence this world. And just like that, over a decade of research on success and happiness finally clicked. Because what I had been obsessed with during this time is figuring out how we human beings miss happiness. We get into the college, we get the grades, we get the car, we get the spouse, we get the house, we have the kids. We are met with these once-in-a-lifetime opportunities, yet we continue to remain unhappy. Way. You are the average of the 5 people that you choose to associate with the most. And I believe that those 5 people need to be your cheerleader, your mentor, your coach, a friend, and a peer. And they would say a lot of things about me. They would say things like, Stacey, only 1 out of every 10 teen parents graduates from high school with a chance at being able to go to college. So you will become an uneducated mother. They would say things to me like, Stacey, children born to teen parents are 80% more likely to live on welfare, end up on poverty, and wind up in prison. Now, I don't know about you, but when I heard that last statistic, there was something in my 17-year-old heart that said, no, Stacy, you will not be a statistic. You will be a success.
But if you want something, if you have a passion in your heart, fire in your belly, it's gonna be you. It's gonna be you getting up early. It's gonna be you staying up late. It's gonna be you running the miles and going to the gym and eating the kale and doing all the crap that you don't, it's only gonna be you. Because outside motivation can only last for so long. You can hire the greatest trainer in the world. You can have the greatest cheerleader. I could have you run beside me and yell out inspirational sayings, but ultimately, it's on me. But I certainly don't care what you think of me for having a dream. And I think that it's one of the things that cripples women most. Is they have this desire on their heart, they want to pursue something for themselves, and they're too afraid of what other people will think. They're too afraid of what, like Marissa from 8th grade is going to think of them for signing up for a half marathon. They're too afraid of what their mother-in-law thinks of them for wanting to start a business, and they just drown in the shame associated with it, and nobody calls it BS. Nobody says, like, wait, this isn't, we're all dealing with this, and so none of us can step forward into who we're called to be because we're too worried about what you think of us. So how do you be as big and achieving as you can possibly be, and then shut up because nobody wants to hear what you have to say? And I found myself as a grown woman sitting there realizing that this had become my career. So I had, in the dark, like behind the scenes in a way that it wouldn't bother anybody, I'm building and dreaming and an entrepreneur and super proud of what I'm doing. But if you had asked me, what do you do? I'd be like, oh, I have this little blog. And it was, at the time, I'm like, by myself, it's over 6 figures. I was really proud of what but I never said that. Family parties, oh, Rachel, she's just a little blogger. She's a little DIY. But I wouldn't claim what I was doing because I just thought I've got to be big and I've also got to be small.
I remember when my 9th grade teacher asked me, Lisa, what do you want to be when you grow up? And see, I had to fight the Harlem Crip 30s every day to get home from school, so I looked at her and said, alive. I took an English class, I got a fail in English. And my English teacher said in front of the entire class, Lisa, you have to be the weakest writer I've ever met in my entire life. Don't worry, my story ends good. Don't feel sorry for me. I got 7 under my belt. Let me tell you something. Some of your fears come out of something someone said about you. Some of your best motivation came wrapped in sandpaper. Some of your best motivation didn't come wrapped in love and came with warm cookies and milk. It came wrapped in sandpaper. It came wrapped in thorns. It came wrapped in that divorce. It came wrapped in the loss of a loved one. It came wrapped in something that didn't work. Some of your best motivation that you needed, some of the best lessons that you need to learn came wrapped in sandpaper. Yes, yes? Yes, yes? Your job is to take the information, to take the lesson, and to take the opportunity and use it to fuel you, not make you afraid. In climbing over my fears, in climbing over my discouragement, in climbing over my issues, in that, I'm perfect for you. And so there's not one thing you can be afraid of that doesn't make you perfect for us. Not one thing. Not one thing you can go through. Not one thing you can come through. Not one thing you can be on your way to that doesn't make you perfect. Say perfect. Say perfect. To do that thing that you've been designed to do. To say that thing you've been designed to say. To bring that experience that you've been called to bring. You are perfect. Say perfect. In your imperfection. Say imperfection. When you become perfect, really, we no longer can relate to you.
See, we want to grow, but we want to stay liked by everybody. I was willing to be my own rescue at the risk of your approval. But most of us aren't like that. Facebook is an example. We want to be liked. Well, I woke up and I like myself today, so your like is extra. My job is to like me first. I was willing to say every day, Lisa, you like you? Lisa, are you proud of you? Lisa, are you playing full out? Every day before I checked in with anybody else. That's lonely, by the way. Why won't most people do it? Because it's scary and it's lonely.
This is the year for reset. This is the year for restart. This is the year for reignite. This is the year for repeat the things that you love. This is the year for recommit. This is the year for redesign. This is the year for reengage. This is the year for restart. This is that year. This is that year. Yes, yes?
What do you know about wealth? See, because there's 3 forms to money. There's 3 relationships to money. We learn how to earn it, we learn how to keep it, and we learn how to grow it. Well, I learned how to earn it because my theme song was, I'm a hustler, baby. And I want you to know, everybody with me, it ain't where I've been, but what? Where I'm about to go. So I was singing that song.
That was good.
They know, right? I was singing that song when I was working out of my closet as my office. I was in a walk-in closet where you really couldn't walk in, you stepped in and turned, right? and the clothes rack, you know how you have the hanger rack, I had pant hangers in the closet and I had manila folders clipping on the pant hangers, those are my client files. And I would sit there and I put $2.99 mirrors that you get from CVS, I put them all around my closet walls so that I can make my office look bigger. I worked out of that closet office for 4 years, singing that song. It ain't where I've been, but where I'm about to go. I knew that. I knew how to make money. I didn't know how to keep it, because ain't nobody had none in my family. So keeping wasn't an issue. Growing was never an issue. So I went to people who knew how to make it, keep it, grow it. I went to people who was about serving others to the highest level. See, I make a lot of money because I serve more people. See, all your success is on the other side of service. People trying to make money, if it begins and ends with money, it's gonna be a short-lived victory. But if it's about transforming lives, then the wind keeps going and going and growing and growing. So I went to people that knew what I didn't know.